Of course, Jim, that sound means it's time to move on. And here we are.
It sounds like we've passed on.
Well, Jim, speaking of passed on, sometimes that's the feeling one has when watching WWE Raw on Monday nights on Netflix. You know it won't go forever, but sometimes it feels like it is going forever, or that nothing happens forever. And there's lots and lots of stars at the beginning and the end, and lots of people in the middle. Let's talk about WWE Raw.
Well, I was suitably chastened over the past and tongue lashed even over the past week or so because a couple of weeks ago we pre-taped a show because of our schedules, and we said, well, we'll just because people have saying, oh, we're sick and tired of the reviews of modern wrestling. We love the history pieces, so we said, well, we'll do a show of history pieces, and then people are like, well, where's the reviews? We can't have any fun and laugh at this shit without the reviews. You're doing too much history. I don't what can we possibly do, Brian, to satisfy everybody? So what I was trying to do was watch some of the modern wrestling. It's, as we mentioned over the past couple of shows, going to get harder and harder to do. Are we going to write a list and hang it up next to the TV? Okay, now Raw's on Netflix, but the fucking pay-per-views on ESPN, but the SmackDown is on what? Are we going to have a graph? Is there a pie chart? How are you going to be able to keep track of this?
It's a lot. It's a lot of different places. I saw some sort of image that someone concocted this past week just to show what the average price per year would be to subscribe to everything. And it was, well over $1,100. I forget exactly what it was. I shouldn't name any number, but
I saw $100 a month but not even the cost, but just the goddamn. How hard do people need to work to memorize how to watch? Because I'm sorry, I know the kids love streaming, but most people I see, especially under the age of 30, don't seem like they're smart enough, quick enough on the uptake, as Mama Cornette used to say, to be able to remember what to watch, where, when, how, and why. Do you say this is where I'm going with this? Well, especially when you get 2.5 hours with a beginning and an end and a lot in the middle of nothing.
Again, especially the younger people and everyone coming up now, it's a generation or two that, without knowing it, has murdered network programmers. Because programming as a concept and a lot of scheduling as a concept is out the window. Everyone watches whatever they want when they want it on whatever platform they want it on. And WWE is going to be on every platform and they're going to have deals with every platform, so they're going to be pushed as a priority. It's pretty overwhelming what's going to happen. But yeah, younger kids today, again, they don't know what channel is what. They don't know what channels are. They don't watch cable. It's not a thing for young people.
If you are just a regular fan of something and not like the devoted folks that we speak to, or the real hardcore AEW or WWE fans either way, but just the average person. The average person is how much time do they have to go about I got to make sure I watch Raw every week. Wrestling viewership was built on we watch every week to see what the story is and blah, blah, blah. When they can just catch up on it next month, or I can't remember what service are we supposed to go to, Sam, to watch Raw this week or whatever. I fear we're going to lose some continuity people.
Well, I think also, even though a lot of their deals are for live, almost everything for live broadcasts, the live part doesn't really mean anything anymore. People are just going to watch when they want to watch it.
Well, maybe or maybe not. I'll tell you about my experience. For the Raw that we were about to discuss that was broadcast on August 18th, mere hours ago as we speak, And they were in Philadelphia. They had 13,056 people in Philadelphia. The business is going to hell. Just the bottom's falling out of it. Only 13,000. They're going crazy with the drone shots, though. I almost had to take some seasick medicine in this first entrance, just with all of the flying about.
It's picking up speed, too.
Yes. I wonder, is there a speed limit on those things? If it went out of control and just fell into the crowd at 60 miles an hour?
That's the biggest lawsuit ever. It flies into the arena, it just keeps going straight and crashes into a woman's face.
Yes. Remember old Fabio was on the roller coaster back about 30 years ago and he got hit in the face with a fucking pigeon? Came down all bloody?
Yeah, and there are plenty of people there filming it. The idea of all the times for it to happen, the press is there.
Well, I'll tell you, when Fabio goes to the amusement park, he gets a lot of attention. Anyway, so speaking of people that look like the bird has flown into their face, here came Paul Heyman with Seth Rollins and the Bronze. And I love the look of this group. These had Bronson Reed especially is looking great. The tribal thief and the Shula Fala and the whole thing. He looks like a star. Braun Breaker's the future of wrestling. I mean, Seth is colorful. But the thing is, Seth is the top guy that makes them elevated. This is a kind of a new version of the Horseman type of thing, but not you're trying to fill those particular personalities, but the concept. And Paul was, of course, happy he was in Philadelphia. He was too humble for a statue. And he put his guys over. He gives Braun Breaker the big introduction and Bronson Reed, and then the big one for Seth. And introduces him and the people sing because they're stars. We're all just singing and cheering here. And Seth starts to speak, and it's Jey Uso's music. So we're like 10 minutes into the show. We've heard the guys in the ring introduced is what we've got accomplished so far. But the waving and the yeeting and the dancing, and now he's letting the kids yeet on the microphone. It's like George Goulas in the Louisville studio. Who do you think is going to win? And he does the promo from the crowd, but Paul was great in his delivery, but basically Jay said he was going to beat Seth in Paris and kind of alluded to fighting Breaker tonight. And then Seth confirmed that. So we had it right. And then again, a good thing they did. Seth fired Braun Breaker up to be so mad at Uso, telling him that he doesn't respect him or his family, that Braun was ready to go after him. Sally, number, it gets Braun. It establishes his short temper, fuse, whatever. And also it starts establishing that Seth manipulates Braun for his own purposes. And then Paul had to do the promo about the bingo hall at ECW and hype up the no disqualification rules. And they're going to make the main event the Extreme Rules because they're in Philadelphia. More on this in a minute. But he mentioned a bunch of the ECW legends. He invoked the spirits of the Sandman and New Jack and Van Dam, the late great Sabu, the late great Tommy Dreamer. And I know he's not dead yet, but he should be. I thought they had made up, or is he just giving him a little chuckle?
Yeah, is that putting him over? Mr. Hardcore? He should be dead.
He should be. Well, I thought he was talking about his never having really been one to take care of his physical conditioning in terms of diet and exercise, but the Dudley boys, etc. And then Jay shut him up and said, okay, I'll agree to it. Extreme Rules. And I wrote, oh, great. I can't wait. That's so unique. Well, I mean, what did we just say last week? That not only is the pattern here, everybody's going to come out and either make or add to the main event, whether they get in a fight or not. Then they're going to come back at the end and they're going to have a fucking match, and then somebody's going to run out. But in the meantime, it's so unique that we would have a match where there's no rules, there's no disqualification, furniture. And we were 20 minutes into the show to get that accomplished. Give me your thoughts on the thing as a whole, but I wish they'd just pick it up a little.
Yeah, I thought Heyman was a bit much here, and I'm usually a big fan of his. Lately, I've kind of felt, I said it last time, Heyman by the numbers. But when he started talking about Bronson Reed, he pulled me back in because it's so perfect. And you want to talk about something that can get someone over a crossover appeal. The bully that steals people's sneakers? Run with that. I think that's great. All the nicknames were funny, but they weren't said in a goofy way. You know what I mean? The way wrestling comedy is supposed to work.
Gimmick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I really like that. Braun Breaker is breaking out, as we see. Rollins is a bit much. I can't. He's still to me the weak link in this whole thing, to be quite honest with you. I feel like Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker would be going further right now, if not weighed down by the guy in the rose-colored outfit, or whatever the hell was happening there. Baggy outfit, too. It was like David Byrne-esque. If David Byrne wore really bad...
Stop making sense. But no, Seth right now, Seth has the reputation. And so I can see the elevation from the reputation, and that there's something to Seth and Braun Breaker at some point. So they're laying the groundwork.
And we'll see where they go with this. Heyman Group. It's now called The Vision. What do you think of the name The Vision?
Well, that's, there's all kinds of vision. You can have double vision or heat vision or poor vision. Sometimes you just lose track of what you're saying right in the middle of saying it. You never know when you get to be Paul's age. So he better watch. Maybe he's got a new name for the group every week.
Well, this is your show.
No, it's not.
Ah, damn it. Well, back to WWE
the vision. I'm not to answer your question. Seriously, I'm not just turning cartwheels over the vision right now. Let's see what his vision is. See if it's 2020. But anyway, back to the program. The point is, then the next hour and fucking a half of the show were filled with the girls' matches, the backstage discussions, the mid-card guys, the commercials, and more of the commercials. And then we got to Naomi. And the word on the street, the word out there had been that she hadn't been medically cleared for the past match or two matches or whatever. The information was being kept close, but they were afraid she was going to be out for a long time. And we're like, oh, what the fuck, just right now when they've done all this. And so she comes to the ring. Adam Pearce brings her out. And she's emotional and she's starting to sniffle. And she says, "This is hard, guys." And then what was supposed to happen was she was going to pitch to watch the big screen, the Titantron, if they still call it that, whatever the fuck. But the Tron tape jumped her pitch and kind of stepped on it. It was like, watch, and it was video from Stephanie's podcast with Naomi and which Uso is she married to? Jimmy. And by the way, she's a heel and he's a baby face. Yeah, Jesus Christ. I can't stand these.
Love conquers all.
I don't want these interspecies marriages, baby faces and heels.
What?
But anyway, She announces she's pregnant. She's pregnant. She's Becky Lynchton.
We had just been talking about how much we've enjoyed her heel work. Even here. I mean, eventually, even here in this segment, she's fantastic on the mic and believable as a heel. And it seemed like it was just getting going.
and it's gone. And she ain't going to be a heel anytime in the near future because she instantly turned babyface. And I mean, you know, some people are happy about children. I have a more bleak viewpoint, but at the same time, the same thing we said with Becky Lynch, the timing, all of not only of her work and training, however long she's been in the wrestling business from the time she first started going to wrestling school, and to all that work. And also, when she walked out with Mercedes Moon, right, a couple years ago in solidarity with her friend that immediately went on to a high-paying job, and Naomi floated around in the sea of obscurity until she came back. And then they give her a big push, and she turns heel, and she becomes interesting, and she's the champion of the biggest company in the world. And now... But it's not just speaking from someone not only has been talent, but also administration. Not only have other people put her over to get her there. And I know they're all happy as clams she's pregnant too, but I'm telling you, as valuable commodities on my roster as far as being a booker, matchmaker, talent coordinator. All these people have contributed to this, the booking, the fucking producing, the whole 9 yards. And anybody can get injured. But this is like a self-inflicted broken leg at the biggest moment of your career. One would think.
Congratulations to Naomi and Big Jim. I'm sure this is going to be a wonderful, happy moment for them and their family. That's the way we should look at it.
Everybody, well, and everybody cries a lot and everybody gets happy a lot in wrestling today.
And how good was her promo here?
But then she turned, well, here's the thing, she turned heel on Pierce and says, but I ain't relinquishing shit. And everybody cheered her more because now, no, she can come out and fucking be eating steaks made from Bambi. And nobody's going to boo her now. And she cuts a great promo. All the girls should ought to thank Jimmy because none of y'all could have beat me. I'd have beat y'all all up.
Come on, that was amazing. That was such
that is amazing. That's what I'm saying. And the fans are, you deserve it. And then she just laughed. She was cackling and didn't leave. And the fans chanted, "Baby Uso." And she laid the belt down and said, I'll be back in 9 months to get it, even if I come back with my baby in my arms. What a heel. And the people, they carried her out of the fucking building on her shoulders. I understand next week she's running for public office in Philly.
At one point, they chanted OTC. I don't know why they did that.
Well, but no, she said the bloodline will continue. And that's when they did that.
Oh, that's true. I don't know why they would go to Roman, though.
Well, I guess it was more polite than saying yeet to the pregnant woman. Unless they're insinuating that it's Jay's brother. Jimmy doesn't have a cheat. He
doesn't have a cheat. He's with his woman and he loves her. What's wrong with you?
No, he doesn't have a chant like he eat.
Well, Big Jim.
What are these words?
Big Jim. You could have done that.
Well, Big Bad John. At least it's more phonetic. But here's the thing. They've gotten their former top heel girl over as an even more popular babyface and cannot do anything with her for 9 months and some change, as I believe she put it.
Man, she had just become my favorite person on this show.
I know. I was like, yes. I even softened up on this whole thing. But one would think that in today's modern science, one could control these actions.
What do you think of them doing the announcement on Stephanie's show? Just so they could show it on WWE TV from Stephanie's show.
I understand that they're trying to get Stephanie's show over, and it doesn't sound from the brief clip of her speaking like she's giving them too much help. But with her, Naomi being this kind of a promo, I don't know why in this instance, they wouldn't have her come out and reveal that news herself instead of the awkward pitch to the tape on the screen that got stepped on. Uh, she could have really worked them up because she could obviously talk as well. This is the, right. Well,
yeah, when she walked out with Mercedes Moné, everyone kind of thought of, fair or not, Sasha Banks is the big star.
Yeah, she was the flunky. What are you doing?
She's the partner, and she's being a loyal tag team partner, which is nice to see.
Which she got in no way, shape, or form the fucking loyalty remunerated, apparently.
It turns out she's so much of a better promo than Sasha Banks ever was. It's incredible.
Yes, and she's a better worker as a heel. I mean, Mercedes has been a complete flop. And look at, she's elevated herself to this position.
When Becky announced her pregnancy, she surprised Asuka in an empty arena during a pandemic, I believe. And then Asuka hugged her, and then Asuka awkwardly started chanting Becky from different places in the building. This was the way to do. I mean, the promo she cut here, I can't wait till she comes. If she comes back with a baby in her hand, that'd be amazing.
They'd have to have a stunt baby, wouldn't they? Would they let the real baby come out for insurance purposes? No, they'd have to have a midget in a diaper because for insurance purposes.
Diaper, really?
You'll see the fucking fan camera of the guy in the back smoking a cigar when he's fucking 2.5 feet tall.
El Hijo del Bert Ruby's midgets.
Yes, and bring back my midgets. Somebody said they were going to do a Give Me Back My Midgets to Give Me Back My Bullets by Leonard Skinner if they have time. I can't remember who it was. I just saw that comment.
That's a spoiler. That's an unfortunate spoiler.
Oh, speaking of spoilers, the rest of the program. So what I did from there was I fast forwarded on to the main event with Braun Breaker, the wrestler of the future, the king of the world, Ma, against Jey Uso in the Extreme Rules match. And boy, I love to watch Braun, and he's actually able to have matches. So they still got to gimmick him up too. And they're going to, I know he looks indestructible, but with the stuff he does sooner or later, they're going to fuck up and get him hurt with all this furniture around. They started the match. I'm just, Jay's punches are just killing me. But he clotheslined Braun over the top rope onto a shopping cart full of shit, because that's what they used to do in ECW. I remind the people that was 25 years ago now, with a shopping cart full of shit that they're going to use in the match. And he sold his leg, and he was selling his leg, but he took a convincing bump. And again, how do you... Hey, come on, kid. This week in wrestling school, we're going to cover taking bumps over the top rope onto a shopping cart full of garbage. And then Jay had pulled a Slim Jim table out about a minute into the match, did a dive, and they went to the break. When they came back from the break, there were about 15 chairs in the ring laying there, a garbage can, a couple of kendo sticks, and Braun was hitting Jay with the lid of the garbage can. And then he was trying to shoot him corner to corner or into the buckle or something, but there was no room in the ring to bump or work or get your footing because all the chairs were laying there. So I said, well, fuck, it's 15 minutes left in this show. I'm not going to sit and watch them wade through this goddamn mess for another 10 minutes till somebody runs in. So I fast forwarded to 5 minutes left in the show and was about to start that when the phone rang. And Brian, you'll never guess who it was. Guess who it was?
Monday night, that late? It was Stacy.
No, it was you.
Oh.
Because it was Tuesday morning. The way God intended people to watch Raw.
Good morning.
And so we talked on the phone and I had it on pause. And I went back to look at the last 5 minutes and I hit the button to take it off of pause. And it was starting the Raw show for August the 4th. And no matter what I tried to do on the remote control or with the Netflix, it would not give me the option of watching any episode of Raw. Now, I could watch other shit if I'd have wanted to go and watch other shit, but I couldn't go back to the episode of Raw that I was just watching, or even last week's. I had to watch August 4th. So I don't know what the fuck happened. Who ran in? You can't remember, can you?
According to a report from the Wrestling News, in the main event, Jey Uso pinned Braun Breaker in an Extreme Rules match, which featured interference from Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, LA Knight, CM Punk,
Jesus Christ,
and Roman Reigns.
Oh, good Lord.
Who speared Bronson Reed, getting him back for multiple shoe thefts. And that's the way it was.
That's what I'm saying. Again, how hard do you have to fucking work to watch the shows? I didn't ask for the god. I just paused it. I've paused it numerous of times. But on this particular occasion, no, we're going to go back a couple weeks and start over. Because when I hit the thing to unpause it, it started the show over again. And I thought, I'm going to have to fucking go all the way through this thing again. And then it said, no, this is Raw from August 4th. And so on and so on and so on.
You didn't mention the Mr. Iguana match. Were you able to watch that?
I was not informed that Mr. Iguana was on the program until after I'd already had these issues and skipped watching it. So, yeah, no. And for people asking, oh, you're going to watch Triple Mania, where they have the 8-foot guy fucking throwing Micro Man out of the ring.
Omos, he's back. Omos, whatever his name is.
Well, and so is Micro Man, who is 2 feet tall and 2 feet wide. And no, AAA was the showbiz version of wrestling in Mexico before the WWE got a hold of them. Now, apparently, they have gone full-fledged into this ought to be presented as a fucking damn musical at the Tropicana. No.
Is that a no?
I don't want to see Mr. Iguana. I don't want to see AAA. This stuff has gotten silly enough on the main channels. I can't figure out how to watch.
Well, in brief, because I haven't followed it too closely, apparently El Hijo del Vikingo is now getting booed by their fans because even though he's the world champion, they don't think he deserves it because Alberto Del Rio is the person they see as the champion, and he's not being booked anymore, apparently.
Wonder why?
At the moment, yeah, I don't know. Stay tuned to Dark Side of the Ring Season 7 to find out the answers to all these questions and more. But Jim, that was Raw.
It certainly was. It was painful.
And I don't know how to do a transition here. It's not like WWE has a lot of problems selling their stuff, but a lot of the listeners out there, you may have a small business. You may not know what the hell to do to get online, to get your products out there to the world, to the masses, and have help all along the way in a virtual, digital, fantastical way from our friends at Shopify.
It's magical, logical, and lyrical. Well, I'll tell you what right now, if you want to get your products out there in front of people's faces, you just go to Shopify and they will do the rest for you because they will go down the street and just take whatever you make or sell or want to pawn off, and they will shake it in people's faces until they buy it just to get them to go away.
That's not how they do it.
That's how persistent they are.
They are persistent in a fantastical digital sense where you don't have to worry about any of these kind of problems in the real world. Your virtual friend is there. Shopify for your store. They power our online store and so much more than that. Shopify.
Well, They power all the bells and whistles. Brian, you know about them bells. I couldn't hear it. I hear it in the background. Ain't coming across. There it is. You know about those things there, Brian, that make those bells and whistles. They're going to give you all the bells and whistles. If you can't design a website, well, fuck you. They'll just do it for you. They do this shit all the time.
They do this stuff all the time. For whatever you need, they are there to help you.
Yeah, they'll elbow you out of the way and just take over, and they'll get it done right because you're obviously.
That's not what they do. No, they won't. They will be there to help. They are a complement to your service.
Well, they'll tell you how nice your hair looks while they're showing you what you ought to know how to do.
Jim, look at the little birdie. Look. Shopify.
What if you need a hand, Shopify? What if you need a hand? They'll give you help with everyday tasks. Things people do every day, like enhancing product images, writing product descriptions, generating discount codes with AI tools created for commerce. Stuff people do every day, simple things. And you can't do them, so they'll come in and do them for you because you're obviously just a moron. For heaven's sake, everyday things like the enhancement of product images. What if people haven't heard about you? That means you haven't been loud enough and obnoxious enough. Shopify is going to start screaming over loudspeakers down major city streets about how great your shit is until people have heard. They'll hear about your shit in their sleep.
That isn't how it works.
That's because if you can't be loud and obnoxious, they're going to do it for you.
There is no mobile force of Shopify. There is no mobile force needed. They are there for you online to help you get your products out there to the world.
There's no mobile force. It's all AI.
It is not.
It's all AI.
Well, let's not say that. That's not true either. It's not all AI. It is all A-OK with Shopify there to help you in your store.
Well, I'll tell you what is another thing that's A-OK is you're going to make nothing but money and hear bells ringing in your head. And on this show, you're going to hear bells ringing for you and your gal because let's say you've been anxious to ditch your wife for a long time and run off with that little hoochie coochie dancer that you met at the cocktail lounge down the street. Will you start a side job from the privacy of your own home? You're making this money roll in while she's still spending the same amount. You're putting this in a kitty, and then one of these days, boom, you and Peaches, you're gone. Peaches. You're vapor. You're in the archives, and she's wondering where the money went. It's all because of Shopify.
Again, let's give examples that people can relate to, not the tale of a hoochie coochie dancer and her kitty. Let's talk about your kitty, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to get any of that kitty, you need money. You need a successful business.
That's Shopify. Right. If you want to put your hand in that kitty and come out with gold, then you got to deal with Shopify because they've got the market cornered and how to do this thing right. And right now you can turn your dreams into reality and bells ringing by giving them the bell never comes in. There it goes. And give them yourselves. That is you, the mortal you, with the pronouns, give yourself the best shot at success with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 a month trial period and start selling right now, today, this instant, before you go any further. At the risk of injury, you must go now and sell. Shopify.com/JCE, $1 a month trial period. How in the world could it possibly be any better than a thing that it is?
You said it there, Jim. Shopify, a great deal for the listeners. Shopify.com/JCE.